Hey guys, D1sco here, and today I'm reacting to the Dead by Daylight 10.0.0 Jason patch notes. So these are actually in the game now. As of filming this, I believe this is the day after the Jason chapter released. Hoping to get this video out, in a few days. But yeah, I skimmed through it, and by skimmed through it, I mean I scrolled through it earlier just to see how long it was. Kind of a funny story, but at first I was like, oh, okay, this isn't as long as I thought it was, and then I kept going, and I was like, oh no, this is gonna take a while to get through. So I apologize for any yawning or anything like that. I just seem to kind of do that during these super long uh, reading reaction videos. I don't really know how else to describe them. But yeah, let's begin so we can get through this. Content, new killer, the slasher. I did read a thing about Jason earlier. I forget when that released, but sometime earlier. It'll be up by the time this video is up, though, where they talked about what was changing about him and nothing else in that. And they mentioned that you would get more details on certain things in this one. So I'm very curious. So I'm excited to see not only the changes that aren't Jason related, but also the updated stuff about Jason. So it says power the omnipresence evil. Press the active ability button to activate omnipresent evil. The slasher becomes invisible and gains undetectable, but cannot see survivors or their scratch marks. Missed class reveal the location of survivors who are not moving. Footprints reveal the path of survivors who are walking or running. Omnipresent evil is deactivated by using jump scare. Special ability jump scare. When omnipresent evil is activated, look at a pallet, break a wall or window to quickly move to it and perform a special break or special vault action. The secondary action button switches to side you'll face when performing jump scare. Jump scare exits omnipresent mode, granting haste. The field stable survivors. I forgot which one of those it is, but he had that ability or whatever where you could hit people really fast, and they actually nerfed that, is what they said, because it I forget what, I don't know what their intended purpose of it was, because they did not say what the intended purpose was at all. They basically just said that a sort of unintended consequence of them making it instant, the attack, when you do it. So maybe for a lot of people just use that as the attack, and I guess that wasn't intended. So they actually did nerf it to where there's a delay, which was on purpose, I guess, to try to fix that. Special ability is throwing spikes. Grab a spike from scrap piles or hooks, hold the secondary action button to ready the spike, and tap the attack button to throw spikes. Spikes are replenished throughout the map when omnipresent evil is activated. A spike knocks back a survivor and damages them for 1 health state. Survivors will be impaled if they are hit with a hook spike. They cannot heal past the injured state, and the embedded hook spike will have an aura visible to the killer. Injured survivors will be both impaired and immobilized if they are hit with a spike and knocked into a wall. They did stay in that the thing that I already reacted to, that apparently removing the spike or helping to remove it counted as, I think, a healing action before, which wasn't intended, because it meant that certain perks and whatnot were activated and affecting it. So they changed what it counts as, I guess. New killer perks. Hex scared to death after you hook 3 different survivors. Adult home ignites. While chasing a survivor, whenever you basic break a pallet, survivors within 13 meters scream and gain 11, 12, 13% hit for 3 seconds. So you get a little bit faster in the survivor. Silent Shadow, whenever you hook a survivor, you gain undetectable for 11, 12, 13 seconds. When all generators are completed, you gain undetectable. Rampage, whenever you basic break a pallet or breakable wall, you earn 1 token up to 13. Whenever you are blinded or pallet stunned for the next 13 seconds, you gain 1% haste for each token cooldown for the 25, 20 seconds. Okay. If I remember correctly, Silent Shadow was actually the one that they changed. So originally, they felt like it made you too powerful at the beginning of trials, just like that. Yeah, I find interesting because it used to like give you the effect at the start. I can't remember if in the PTB change patch notes if they said that you could replenish it or not. But yeah, they changed it to be anytime you hook somebody. And the idea was that it would be sort of this like you would get it little bits here and there throughout the trial instead of all at once at the beginning. I believe is basically what they said. And then in this new version you get like a big, sort of boost at the end. Features. Auras customization. New aura types are available for color customization. Blocked objects, e.g. corrupt intervention or repressed alliance. Completed generators, EGS, the Hellmaster sending the dog on a search command. Generator progress, the starting color when a generator's progress is revealed, e.g. Hex Hive Mind or the add-on All Seeing Spirit. I don't know where they specify that. I see why now. Dual totems. When a player doesn't know the state of a totem, it will show as a dual totem. E.g. take this hunch. Glance totem. E.g. Hex Pentimento. Hex totems, boon totems, hatch, and exegate switches. Killer Power Match Details tab. Match Details have been updated with a new tab to provide a simplified description of the currently faced killer's power. Match Details will only show this information when one of the following occurs. A survivor enters the chase, a survivor loses as a host state. A killer power tab directly access by pressing F1 on keyboard or pressing and holding select on controller. Visual change. Doctor. Remove the doctor's noise vignette when using his power when a survivor gets shocked. Reduce the intensity of the light when the doctor uses his power. Reduce the intensity of the camera shake when a survivor gets shocked. Interesting wording, but okay, fair enough. I'm curious, how long is this video? Oh jeez, okay. Bug fixes, audio. Fix an issue where Sable Ward's sassy guest outfit is missing lobby music. I don't even remember what outfit that is off the top of my head. Fix an issue where survivor hit audio does not play at a long distance for the killer when the survivor is hit by projectile at long distance. Fix an issue where the frequency rate of dialogues for Alan Wake's is low. Fixing an issue where there were missing voice lines for the singularity during the Mori. Fixing an issue where survivors do not produce grunts when they are dropped by the animatronic. Fixing an issue where missing sound effects when interacting with memory shards and archives portal. Fixing an issue where the Trickster's Mori preview VO is difficult to hear due to being at a too low volume. Fixing an issue where as a survivor the audio cue for the nightmare's dream projection does not play when teleporting to a generator. Fixed hook voiceover could play during sacrifice at the survivor's last one standing. Fixing an issue where Jake Park being in a lobby could trigger utter lobby dialogues when a single player also joins as Jake Park. I don't even understand what that means. Okay. Characters. Fixing the issue where the xenomorph can see shadows through walls after exiting a tunnel in Greenville Square. Fixing the issue where shadows disappear after repeatedly entering and exiting the security room as the animatronic in Greenville Square. Fixing the issue where the animatronic's immunity to flashlights was missing when grabbing a survivor inside a door. Fixing the issue where the executioner idle animation audio was in sync. Fix an issue where the iridescent button add-on description was missing. The fact it grants blind immunity for the Legion. What? I don't even understand what that means. Fix the issue where female survivors' facial animations were missing when caught in a locker or singularity. Do people still use Singularity? I feel like his chapter happened and then I never saw him ever. Not saying people don't play him, but I'm curious how many do player wise, because it feels low. Facing an issue where the Knight's camera remains immobile when interrupting a survivor who's either entering or exiting a locker. Okay. Facing an issue where the Knight did not have a highlight aura for guard orders on palace. Facing an issue where the Knight's killer power and the basic attack were accessible immediately after canceling the killer power. Facing an issue where the first vines attacking a survivor while they were dropping a pallet caused them to be unable to enter the floating state. Fixing an issue where the headset was misaligned with the hand and head of the survivor when interacting with the grandfather clock. Fixing an issue where the Legion's feral frenzy stopped recharging during the Mori. Fixing an issue where survivors received no exposed SFX after removing crows from the artist's Garden of Rot add-on. Fixing an issue with the Wings Fang add-on for the Dark Lord only showed the aura of the last survivor's scent orb. Fixing the issue where sometimes the Hellmaster's dog was unable to jump pallets at sharp angles. Fixing an issue where the Demogorgon's active portals auras were always revealed for the survivors. Fixing an issue where between dash buffering, whatever that means. There's an issue with the Meshmine could a survivor at a lower altitude after vaulting was virulent bound. There's an issue with the Meshmine supply case whereas were hidden the survivors suffering from blindness. There's an issue with the Mastermind virulent bound. Dash buffering resetting hand. Animation was played too early Faced an issue where survivors were frequently missing the throne and the colliding against obstacle animations. From the mastermind's virulent bound, faced an issue where the doctor was able to see the auras of illusionary doctors at Madness Tier was add-ons. Faced an issue where survivors were missing their reverse bear trap when the pig used the videotape add-on. Is any of that? Next an issue where survivors can has escaped despite dying with a reverse bear trap while playing as a pig. I still haven't figured that trap out at all. Like, there was a time when I was playing where it just, like, I swear the trap wasn't active at all. Like, it didn't have the red thing. This was years ago, so if this was a bug, they must have fixed it. But it was something about, like, if you entered the exit gate and, like, did attempt to leave, it, like, blew up on me despite not being active at all. Or, like, the timer running out or anything like that. And I believe I did learn something sometime later about, apparently there was a thing that would happen with Pig where, I don't remember what it is you did, but if you did something, it resulted in it, like, exploding. Something about, I think if she, like, crouched or something like that, and the exit gate was you behind them, then it would blow up. But from what I remember, the pig wasn't by me at all, or maybe they were, and I've just, forgotten due to time. Be so much time being removed from the event. But, yeah, I just remember that being really stupid. So I hope that's not a thing anymore. There's an issue where the legs animation was missing after a slice and dice attack, and after missing a basic attack against the good guy. There's an issue where the camera, look at, and carry FPV animations for the good guy were broken during some interactions. There's an issue where the hag was missing 2 lobby animations. There's an issue where the lobby animation was choppy as the spirit with the nightmare serpent skin. Fix an issue where killers were able to see survivors through the generator's auras. Fix an issue where multiple torso cosmetics appeared distorted around the stomach area when paired with Arella Rosa's shorts. Fix an issue where Bearmar Uras had his arms moving abruptly periodically and his right hand clipping through his guitar when playing it. Fix the issue where Joe Valentine had clipping issues during multiple animations with the sturdy skirt pants cosmic. I don't even know what that is off the top of my head. Environment / maps. Fixing the issue by adjusting a collision in the astrology room in the Forgotten Ruins. A vault point has extended collision, blocking projectiles from being thrown through at an angle. Fixing the issue by adjusting a collision plus moving a generator on the shrimp boat and Pale Rose. Players was remain behavior. Fucking fix your wording, goddamn. If another player was repairing the generator. Fixing issue in the underground complex where killers could get blocked by hanging a survivor on a hook in a corner. Goddamn, fix your shit behavior. This fucking, I feel like I'm a goddamn teacher reading this. Like, fucking F. Fix your shit. Okay, it's not that bad, but it's pretty egregiously bad. Do. There's an issue in the Sanctum of Wrath where killers could block the entrance to the basement on the side of the ship. What does that even mean? Like, do they mean if you, like, I'm assuming they mean something like, about there must have been like a spot where you could stand and that would just trigger, and then because you're just standing there. But yeah, I guess that was a thing that happened. Hopefully that's fixed now, because that sounds pretty bad. That you could just stand somewhere and screw up, like, even being able to go down there, you know, because that's not intentional. That's not supposed to happen, you know. So, but yeah, so let's see next change, because I don't even remember. It was fixation crow's pren, where the nurse could not blink for the walls. Fixation treatment theater, where the red stain would disappear in a certain area of the map. Fixation treatment theater, where a killer could not navigate through a door when a survivor was placed on a hook. Fixation in the McMillan Estate killer shack, where an invisible collision hindered survivors and killers' navigation. Okay, that some, I guess. Do, do, do. Boom, 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 boom. Boom, 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 boom. Do, 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 do. Bum, 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 bum. Vaccination in the realm of Coldwind Farm, where projectiles would get blocked around the combined harvester. Vaccination in growing stores where the players they get stuck where walking up the stairs of the where yeah though that wording is horrible. Fixture shit behavior, goddamn. Facing an issue in Shattered Square where projectiles would be blocked by collisions. There's an issue in Phantom of Wrath where a killer cannot grab survivor entering a locker. I mean, the grammar is so bad in this. I get what they're saying, but it's like, be a little bit better if they would just simply fix the spelling. I was aware of that. But Fixation around Withered Isle, where collision would block projectiles around picnic tables. Fixation Raconsay Police Station East Wing by repositioned walls, where a gap could be seen in several locations, allowing the player to see through or out of world. Fixation East Wing of the Raconsay Police Station by repositioning where a gap was visible in several places, allowing the player to see through or out of the world. Fixation where the artist was unable to place a dire crow in front of a window vault between specific tiles in the Trickster's Delusion map. Fixation where the passage aura color was pink on Forgotten Ruins. Fixation Crow's Prime where characters could stand on top of a rock. Fixation Badham Preschool where characters could walk on top of a rock. I always found it kind of dumb, personally, that they keep removing the ability to do stuff with the rocks because, you know what I mean? Just because it's like, players should have, like, some freedom, you know, when they play the game to kind of do, like, you know, certain things that they want in the trial, of course. I always felt like by them constantly removing the ability to, like, use the rock, like, climb up the rocks and whatnot, that like, hindered player freedom. Because they're kind of telling us, you know, this is the only correct, like, way to do it, if that kind of makes sense. So I personally always kind of wish that they would not do that anymore, personally. But that's just me. Be nice if they would, you know, just keep that in. But they don't. Do, 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 But yeah, it's just me. I kind of wish they would keep the rocks in. Fixation McMahon's Estate, where killers could be blocked by assets. Fixation Underground Complex, where collision would prevent a smooth navigation. Fixation Potter Campbell's Chapel, where projectiles were blocked on the ceilings of the chapel. Fixation Red Forest maps, where dream pallets would get stuck in the wall of the shack. Fixation Badham Preschool, where branches clipped through the walls of a house structures. Fixation Grim Pantry, where collisions would hinder navigation of the players. Fixation Suffocation Pit, where collisions would hinder the navigation of the players. Fix an issue and Gideon Meat Plant, where collisions would hinder the navigation of the players. Vaccination Raconsay Police Station, where the nurse could blink out of the world. Vaccination Undergrad Complex, where a collision was missing over the table in the clinic section of the map. Vaccination Yamaka's Mansion, where the trapper could hide the could hide the trap under an asset. It's an issue where the nurse cannot blink through walls of the asylum. It's an issue where the Witch's Hand of Vecna failed to teleport a survivor when using a specific locker room in Preschool 1. I tried using one of those. I forget if it was the eye or the hand, but I tried using it one day and I could not figure out what you were supposed to do. I knew it was something about going into a locker, but I don't know how to, like, activate it. So I just got very confused. Fixing to ensure the secret room's chest was unable to go through our flashlight when using the prepositional manifest on the Sherman wreckage. I forget how you're even supposed to claim that chest, because I don't believe I've ever, like, seen that thing open. I have seen the sort of secret chest on, the one map. The Silent Hill one, but I haven't seen... I think I saw it in a video once, but that was a long time ago. Like, I've never seen it in person.
Every life begins with a fight.
Facing an issue where the Lich's Hand of Vecna failed to teleport a survivor when used on a specific locker in Raccoon City Police Station West Wing. Facing an issue where the Lich's Hand of Vecna failed to teleport a survivor when using a specific locker in the treatment feeder. Finally, we can move on. Perks. Can you guys tell that this is a lot of reading yet? Because this is a lot of reading. So... But yeah. I wish they could figure out a way to shorten these, I really do. Because these are so long, and it's like, guys, like, why? Why you do this to me? You know what I mean? Perks. Fix an issue where Hex, NOAD, or no one escapes death was revealed to survivors immediately when generators were completed. Fix an issue where rarely the aura of Fake Palace could be seen by the Xenomorph throughout the map while using ultimate weapon and the survivor had apocalyptic ingenuity. Fixing an issue where Hex deferred seal activated when the trickster hit a survivor with a blade for the first time. Fixing an issue where the heal progress bar remained gray while healing another survivor. There's no harm activated. Fixing the issue where Streetwise's aura reading activated was free killer items. Fixing the issue where Flack was unable to be activated on breakable walls. Fixing the issue where the external perk icon for Venetophobia was displayed when performing actions with no injured, downed, or hooked survivors. Fixing the issue where AFK crows could appear on survivors' heads while working on a generator after using the perk. Plot twist and being picked up by the killer. Platforms. Fixing an issue where an asynchronous load between the survivor and the killer caused the killer to load parts from invisible and uncontrollable. I don't even understand what the fuck that means. Fixing an issue where player shadows could be seen at the bottom of blockers on Switch. Fixing an issue where players cannot accept or view each other's profile. In the friend list on the Epic Games Store version, fixing an issue where I was unable to make progress on the resourceful achievement / trophy. I don't even remember what that one is. Which one is right now? Quests. Fixing an issue where selecting Knockout Remix Challenge from the tones whilst having a Survivor Challenge make perk randomization impossible. UI. Fix an issue in the quest menu where the match queue text for killers overlaps some quest buttons. Fixed a localization issue where the scroll prompt in the quest menu. Fixed an issue where keybind icon buttons were missing on the HUD when channeling interactions. Miscellaneous. Fixed an issue where rarely the loading screen temporarily freezes on initializing shader screen. Fixed entity potentially making an invalid purchase move on the blood web. Fixed certain map specific achievements failing to complete in 2v8. Fixed an issue with the survivor having the killer name after using play while you wait. I read that wrong the first time. Fix an issue where using play while you wait and leaving a survivor lobby, the priority queue for the killer lobby was also lost. Fix an issue where the flicker VFX was missing when a survivor used a flashlight with the broken bulb add-on. Changes from PTB, new killer, the slasher. I will say, the changes from PTB section is lengthy. I just want really quick show you guys. All of this is in all of this counts. All of that. I believe up until like known issues at all. It's all this. So it's a decently lengthy section. So I'm gonna try to get through it as well as I can. So let's do this. New killer power. Pinned rescues are no longer considered healing actions. Yep, I talked about that earlier. The killer husk attack now activates with a slight delay and is no longer instant upon appearing. Yep, talked about that one. I didn't word it very well, but I talked about it, and of course I explained the reason, and of course I mentioned the reasoning because they don't ever give you the reasoning for certain things here like often. Sometimes they do the developer notes or developer update. I forget what they call it, like within for certain things, but they didn't do that in this one. So yeah, kind of weird. Increased the slow down effectiveness of the anti-camp system from 2x to 3x time in seconds. I don't know if that's specifically for him. I guess so. When I initially read that, I kind of thought it was for everybody a little bit, like all killers, but no, I guess that's for Jason. Not entirely sure why, but it is. Increase the movement speed penalty when canceling the charge projectile action. New killer add-ons. Toxic waste. Activation range increased to 8 meters with 6 meters. Coroner's coffee. Haste decreased to 8% was 13%. Bloody magazine detection range decreased to 8 meters was 13 meters. Eye goop undetectable duration increased to 13 seconds was 9 seconds. Iridescent boat motor window block duration increased to 13 seconds was 5 seconds. Deputy's badge reworked while an omnipresent evil passing within 4 meters of a generator will cause it to explode, losing 5% progress and being regressed and begin regressing. If any survivors are repairing the generator, it will not explode, but they get a special skill check. New perk, Silent Shadow. Change the perk so that the 11, 12, 13 second untouchable occurs whenever you hook a survivor instead of the start of the trial. Killer Power Match Details Cap. Updated the default icon of its special attack, ranged attack, and special ability to no longer reuse existing power icons. Updated all descriptions to utilize more consistent language. Updated several descriptions to provide more clarity. Reworked the description of the Wraith, the Knight, and the Skill Merchant to be more accurate and in-depth. Bot improvements. Fixed an issue with AI characters being unable to navigate Trickster's delusion map. Survivor bots will now resume goals if the slasher stays too long inside Omnipresent Evil. Fix an issue causing survivor bots to continue hiding during the slasher's Omnipresent Evil after the endgame class has begun. Fix an issue with survivor bots not running away immediately after escaping from the wiggle state. Bug fixes. Fix an issue where there was a missing slashering SFX when performing a jump scare on an already broken pallet-sized wall with the slasher. Fix an issue where the impact SFX is missing when damaging a generator if the killer is not holding a projectile with the slasher. Fix an issue where basic attack SFX can be heard when performing free specifics interactions with the slasher. Fix an issue where there was missing SFX during the lobby idle animation for the slasher. Fix an issue where there was a missing SFX when vaulting with the slasher. Fix an issue where the weapon wipe SFX is missing after entering a survivor as the slasher. Fix an issue where brick via lines were also are triggered when Daryl joins Glenn on a generator repair. Fix an issue where the slasher is missing SFX when performing specific animations. Fix an issue where blinding SFX can be heard while aiming the flashlight at the slasher's face during Omnipresent Evil. Fixed a prestige reward level 10 data issue with the slasher. I forget which one that, like, what level 10 gives. I think it was, I want to say it was one of the, like, pictures. Oh, fuck you. Yeah. Fix an issue where the slasher's untouchable status icon was missing when using Omnipresent Evil after injuring a survivor. Fix an issue where the killer cited SFX Stinger played while the slasher was still invisible while exiting Omnipresent Evil mode. Fix an issue where a survivor pinned on moving doors let the shadow on the slasher's rest stamina dissolving. Okay. That's kind of fun. There's an issue where the slasher was unable to gain a spike when using jump scare on a window or pallet when using the dirty money add-on. Fix an issue where jittering occurred after the slasher picked up a survivor pinned to a small door frame. Fix an issue where the slasher's iridescent boat motor add-on a window could be marked for an infinite amount of time. Fix an issue where, as the slasher, a duplicate projectile appeared briefly when pinning and unpinning a survivor. Fixing the issue where Bada Boom was unable to be activated by the slasher using jump scare at a trapped vault. Fixing the issue where survivors could see spikes disappear from containers while the slasher picked up a spike in omnipresent evil mode. Fixing the issue where the time increase to remove the spike was inaccurate for the slasher's add-on. Knitting needle. Fixing the issue with the slasher's dirty money add-on granted the slasher a spike when teleporting to a breakable door. Fixing the issue where the slasher gained score events when throwing a spike on a hooked survivor. Fixing the issue where survivors hit during an unhook could still be impaled and pushed by the slasher's projectile before they could otherwise take damage. Fixing the issue where the slasher's spike became misaligned when picking up a survivor. Fixing the issue where rarely the slasher's hook projectile would not get reloaded when the killer hooked a survivor. Fixing the issue where spectators were unable to perceive the mist from the slasher's POV during Omnipresent Evil. Fixing the issue where spectators were able to perceive the slasher during Omnipresent Evil from the survivor's POV. Fixing the issue where the slasher exited a jump scare vault too high on specific vault points. Fixing the issue where charging the throw action during the teleport part of a jump scare transition automatically canceled the throw action for the slasher. Fixing the issue where sometimes pallets were desynced between users after the slasher attempted to break them was jump scare while a survivor reset them was the perk enemies necessary when the killer had high latency. Fixing the issue where the slasher's omnipresent evil red mist appeared visible on other survivors from the spectator POV in custom games. Fixing the issue where the slasher lost collision with survivors during the reload animation. Fixing the issue where visual issues occurred for the slasher when using the mini Mori before the spike expired. I've never seen the mini Moris. I don't even think I knew he had any, so that's new to me. Fixing the issue where the slasher's jump scare range radius enlargement from the bent wheel add-on was missing. Fixing the issue where survivors appeared floating when pinned against a specific wood scaffolding inside the library on QTM underscore level underscore O2 tile 193B by the slasher. What the fuck? Did they have a stroke when writing that? What the hell does that mean? Fixing the issue where the slasher's hook spike pickup hitbox was misplaced for one specific hook location of the tower entrance in the Mount 1 resort map. Fixing the issue where the slasher scrap piles spawn too closely to each other in their respective tiles on the underground complex map. Fixed an issue where placeholder text was floating below glyphs. Fixed an issue where Hex scared to death icon became dimmed when survivors cleansed any totem. Fixing an issue where Hex scared to death icon was put back in the regular disabled state when the related Hex totem was cleansed. Fixing an issue where windows were only blocked for 4 seconds when the slasher vaulted was the jump scare alongside the perk bamboozle. Fixing the issue where players' food stacks did not get used when using the slasher's ranged attack. Fixing the issue where there were 2 inconsistencies with the slasher's silent shadow perk icons after the perk was permanently activated. Fixing the issue where Hex scared to death caused survivors in lockers to scream. Fixing an issue where Hex scared to death icon stayed dimmed out after activating. Fixing an issue where the first mini Mori failed to occur after sending the input.
Just tell people it's really good. Okay, good. That's good. Write it down. Write it down.
Fixed an issue where the Oni's flames VFX from the Dearest Kazan outfit were misaligned. Fixed an issue where Meg Thomas dial after exiting lock on Survivor tutorial. Fixed an issue where the Xenomorph's tunnel connection URL was displayed as purple. Fixed an issue where female survivors' hands clenches in a forearm with clear pipes while in the dying state. Fixed an issue where the Deathslinger's chain progression bar UI was visible on the survivor's POV after they broke free from the killer power. Fixed an issue where a survivor could pick up an item from outside the witch's chest. And finally, we are down to the last bit, known issues. On Epic Games Store, new achievements for Dead by Daylight Jason will be temporarily unavailable. On Nintendo Switch, the Slasher will temporarily only be available for the in-game store. The new DLC content will be available via external stores at the following times. Jason DLC, June 18th at 11 a.m. Eastern. That's tomorrow as of filming this video. Jason Edition, June 18th at 11 a.m. Eastern. So that's the same goddamn thing. And then 10th Anniversary Edition, June 18th at 1 p.m. Eastern. It's the same goddamn day, okay? Who cares? Anyways, yeah, we're finally done reading. So final thoughts. I mean, these are just the stuff coming to the base game, right, from the PTB. Be sure that since yeah, fuck him. Yeah, fuck you, piece of shit. Anyways, yeah, I mean, it's so a lot of this, right, in typical them faction were just little black things. So it doesn't fully matter just because, well, they do matter. So most of it is little fixtures. Some of the changes were a little bit better than others, of course, in terms of being interesting. The visual change for Doctor, I'm kind of intrigued by that. I never really had an issue with Doctor, but I could understand why some people would. So I am kind of curious to see what that's like. The killer power match details have been kind of intrigued by the update to that as well. Just because before you couldn't see the killer power at all and stuff, and now you actually kind of can. The aura customization is a very cool feature, and I'm very happy they continue to update that. I mean, Jason's perks seem okay. I won't know, right, if they're good or not until using them, but at least on paper they sound okay. The special, and then Jason himself, he sounds fun. You know, the omnipresent evil, I could definitely see some moments, right, where that's, you know, where that can be super useful and whatnot. And then you have where he, like, the thing where he froze, was it called throwing spikes, you know, where he froze something. I could see that being useful as well, because having ranged attacks in this game can be pretty useful at times. And then, of course, jump scare. I don't fully know what the purpose of jump scare is. That one's kind of lame to me. What? Delay. Change the confirmation. What? Okay, that fucked me, I guess. And that shift. Cool. Fuck me, I guess. Awesome. But yeah, I would say jump scare is the only thing that I'm kind of whatever about, just because I don't understand what it's supposed to be, like, even used for anymore, because they don't really explain at all. If that makes sense. Like, it's originally you could actually hit people with it, like, if you you know, originally you could actually hit people with it if you, like, did it correctly, but not anymore. So I don't fully understand what the point of it is. But yeah, so thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you liked it, make sure to like, comment, subscribe, share the video, ring the bell. do all the algorithmic garbage. It helps us out a lot. It means a lot to us. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.